Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, we are going to be taking an early look into 10.2. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the new items, different item level changes that are happening, different nerfs that are going to affect gold making, and just various other changes, stockpiling tips, and prep tips that I have for you guys. Now, of course, keep in mind that this is still early PTR, so everything is subject to change, but I wanted to make this video now since a lot of these things are better knowing now than later. So without further ado, we are going to jump right in, but I hope you guys enjoy. And so to start off, before getting into all of the major changes, I quickly want to run through all of the new items. I'll be honest, these items are not very exciting. They're basically just new versions of things we already have, so feel free to pause the video if you want more information about each item, but I'm going to quickly run through them for now. In terms of new embellishments, we have 3 on the list. We have the Dream Tender's Charm, the Verdant Conduit, as well as the Verdant Tether. We also have 2 new potions. We have the Healing Dreamwalker's Potion, so that's the brand new healing potion, as well as the Potion of Withering Dreams, which is a brand new toxic one. Then we have Dreaming Devotion, which is the brand new weapon enchant. Then we have the new Vantis rune that corresponds to the brand new raid. Then we have the Dream Warden's Contract, which is for the new reputation. We have 2 new dragon riding glyphs for the new Drake that we get at the start of 10.2. We have a fun classic engineering toy, 2 cosmetic glyphs, a interesting tea cooking recipe, maybe useful for some sort of quest. Then we have a blacksmithing plate helmet, a ton new sets of PvP gear to correspond to the Season 3, which is called the Verdant PvP set. And then, of course, we have all new Enchanted Crest for crafting, which follows actually the same naming scheme as last time, which is the Whelplings, Worms, and Aspects. Now, in terms of Season 3 crafting and crafting orders and kind of the upgrade system, all of this is basically going to stay the same as Season 2. Players will collect the new Spark, which is the Spark of Dreams. It's likely going to be another 2-week time gate, however, that's not confirmed, and you will have to recraft your current pieces to use that new Spark. Additionally, we have those Enchanted Crest, which I just mentioned, and these will be used to upgrade your new pieces of gear to the highest item level. Aspects being the best, Worms being the second best, etc. So exactly like Season 2, just with higher item levels and slightly different items. Now, stepping away from crafting, we do have something for the gatherers out there. Nothing too exciting, but we do have 2 different types of nodes for your miners and your herbalist. Overgrown is the new type of herb for herbalist. That was a very hard sentence to say, and this can be found inside of the Emerald Dream, similar to the new Living attribute for the mining nodes. Both of these kind of have the same ability. Basically, whenever you loot the node, a creature is going to spawn, and you can follow that creature around and quickly continue to harvest that creature to get more loot. So it's just a way to get more resources out of a single node. And alright, I'm going to quickly pause right here because this is where the video is going to shift. I know I covered all of those new recipes very fast. Please go back and pause the video if you want to see what profession makes it, as well as their current recipes if you like to know more information. But I really want to talk about some important nerfs that are coming that are going to affect gold making, as well as a few speculations and prep ideas that I have for you guys. So I really just wanted to cover all of that other stuff super fast to get to this point, but feel free to go back if necessary. The first thing I want to talk about is materials. To anybody who has been playing WoW for a long period of time, there is generally a trend in different patches. And for this example, we're going to go back to Shadowlands. Back in Shadowlands, whenever the Korthia update came out, Korthite crystals were the brand new expensive item used for legendaries. These were popular for the whole patch being very, very expensive, and then the new patch came around which introduced Zereth Mortis, and they introduced the Essentia, which was the direct replacement of Korthite crystals. and we basically saw Quartzite crystals completely crash, and we saw Essentia take up its place. And of course, this is just one example, but this is the common trend with WoW for the past multiple expansions. However, many of you might have noticed, if you guys looked at those new recipes, that we have two items that seem to be sticking around. We saw that the contracts required glow spores, and we saw that the enchanted crest required Dracothist, which are two items that were introduced in 10.1 with the new Zerlik Cavern zone. I have to admit, originally when I saw these items on 10.2 PTR, I immediately said I was actually doing this live, and I immediately told chat, hey, these are probably placeholders, because we've definitely seen that in the past. I believe we even saw that on 10.1 PTR with some placeholders. We saw that in beta, and it's a common trend for Blizzard to just kind of make up some crafting recipes and adjust them later. However, I believe I was very wrong, and these are not placeholders at all. The reason why I say this is I was actually adventuring in the Emerald Dream, which is the brand new zone, and I was on my gatherer, and as I was going around gathering looking for the new nodes, I came across multiple metamorphic mining nodes. To those who don't know what that is, that was the new attribute that was added in 10.1, and these metamorphic nodes are the ones that drop Zerlik glow spores. So not only do we just see glow spores inside of new recipes, we also see the gatherable source of glow spores inside the new zone, which means this is likely not a placeholder. Now, something else I want to bring up, once again, this is pure speculation because I have to admit, I only gathered for about 20 minutes, but when I was going around gathering for 20 minutes, I came across like over 5 metamorphic mining nodes. However, I came across no lambent herb nodes, which is the herb equivalent that drops glow spores. So I was either very unlucky, or it might be a possibility that only the mining node is available. If that's the case, that could be an interesting gathering method, right? Miners are going to get glow spores in the new zone, but not herbalists. But either way, if you do have herbalism and you want to get glow spores, you can always go back to the caverns, but that's something to keep in mind. Once again, pure speculation. But yes, the reason why I bring this up is for prep and stockpiling reasons. A lot of people, going into a new patch will sell off their old patch items because they assume that they don't need them, right? A lot of people sold off their Quartzite crystals because they knew they didn't need them and they were going to primarily focus on the new Essentia. However, if Dracothist and glow spores are sticking around, you definitely don't want to be selling them off. Now, in terms of an investment sake, that is going to be something that you are going to have to decide on your own. Will prices go up? We're not exactly sure. I guess it kind of depends on how popular these items are. Keep in mind, they are enchanted crest. We kind of saw Dracothist perform last patch, not as expected, so keep that in mind, but that is the first point I really want to bring up. Secondly, in terms of stockpiling, I also want to bring your attention to the new healing potion. This healing potion requires a variety of items, but most notably, it requires a handful of the normal healing potions, as well as the potion of frozen focus. The reason why I bring this up is both of those potions, the original healing, requires rousing frost, while the frozen focus actually requires awaken frost, meaning that is a lot of frost items being used for a potion. Which just means if a lot of people are going to want this new healing potion, then a lot of rousing and awaken frost is going to be used. So yet again, if you're just looking into stockpiling items or selling items off, you might want to be careful about what you do with rousing and awaken frost. Now, in terms of other stockpiling, just keep in mind this is a brand new patch, so like all things, raiding is going to get, very popular again. Same with Mythic Plus, so in general, all consumables are going to do really well. Remember, at this current moment, besides what I mentioned at the beginning, there's no new, crazy food buff items. We don't have any other crazy potions besides the two that I mentioned, so just make sure you keep up with your general stockpiling as well. And alright, the final thing that I want to mention before ending this video are the changes to crafting orders, or I should say the nerfs to crafted gear that could affect crafting orders. Now, in terms of actually how much this is going to affect us, it depends. We're going to have to see how it plays out, but I think this is important to consider, especially right now if you're in the crafting order market. Up first, we're seeing a nerf to crafted gear in terms of item levels. Now, I will fully admit right now I am not a high-end mythic or raiding player. I haven't touched a raid or mythic in a very long time, so I am getting this information from Wowhead. I'll have the full article down below if you want more information, but I'm going to try to explain this as simply as possible, just in case you guys are in the same boat. Generally, from patch to patch, whenever we see an item level increase, normally that increase is only 26 item levels. However, in 10.1 jumping up to 10.2, we are seeing a 39 item level difference, meaning that players are going to be a lot more under gear going into Season 3. Now, let's be honest, that doesn't really matter to us. However, we also need to take a look at the item levels of the new crafted gear and their crest. Just to confirm, in order to craft the highest item level for Season 3 gear, you are required to have the new Spark, which is going to be very easy, and then you're going to also need the new Enchanted Aspects crest, which is the Enchanted Aspects Dreaming crest. Those two together on a piece of gear, you're going to have the highest item level of 483. Now, this sounds like a high item level, but we have to compare this to the Mythic Vault as well as Mythic Rating. Item level 483 is the equivalent of plus 20s from the Great Vault. So to anybody who does a lot of Great Vault stuff, there you go, plus 20s, same item level as the Dreaming Crest. However, Mythic Raid item levels are going to go up to 489, meaning there is a 6 item level discrepancy between the max crafted gear item level as well as the max gear dropping from those end raid bosses of the Mythic tier. Now, this is only a 6 item level difference, and this is only a slight nerf to crafted gear, because I believe there's always been a discrepancy. This is now just an additional 3 item levels. It used to just be a, normal 3 item level difference, now it's 6, but this could mean that a lot of crafted gear is bumped off the best in slot train. To put this in perspective, if you're currently in depth in a lot of Season 2 knowledge, this is basically saying that the highest item level in Season 2, instead of being crafted at 447, that means that the highest item level of current crafted gear would be 444. So hopefully that would make a little bit more sense. Now, of course, there's benefits to crafted gear. Once again, it's like a guaranteed item level slot. Also, you can embellish them, so they are still useful, and we're going to likely see crafted gear used at the beginning and the middle of the patch, even towards the end. But if you're somebody who is going to be doing the best in slot, highest item level possible, best set possible, crafted gear might not be in that. Meaning we might see a reduced amount of orders, or at least the, timing of orders in terms of end of patch, mid patch, early patch might change. Additionally, on PTR, we have seen a major nerf to many of the current embellishments. A ton of the embellishments have been reduced by 35%, while some others have been reduced by only 30%. Once again, we are seeing new embellishments added, so this could just be for the sake of, making the new embellishments useful, but a lot of the existing embellishments might not be so good anymore. So I'm just throwing this out here. Let's say the Shadow Flame armor patch right now is super popular. With the nerf that it has, maybe it becomes very unpopular and all of a sudden we see a huge best in slot change. We're going to have to leave that to the professionals. We're going to have to leave that to see what truly is best in slot. But if you're somebody who is crafting a ton of specific embellishments or crafting a ton of specific embellished gear, you might see that change drastically in 10.2. But yeah, guys, that is it. I don't want to overwhelm you guys too much. I could talk about this forever, but hopefully this gives you some good information to think about going into 10.2. Once again, keep in mind this is very early, this is all subject to change, and ultimately we'll have more information as we get closer to patch release. Let me know what you guys think about all of these changes in the comments down below. Do you like the nerfs? Do the nerfs scare you? Do you like the new items? All of that, whether it's good or bad, definitely let me know and we can have some conversations there. But everybody, as always, thank you guys so much for watching and have a good day.